You're listening to the How to Talk to Girls podcast with your dating coach, Trip, from tripadvice.com. Do you struggle with getting girls to like you? Well, you're going to learn step-by-step how to talk to girls to create deep connections and meet the woman of your dreams. Here's your host, me, Trip. Hello and welcome to the How to Talk to Girls podcast. I'm your host, Trip Kramer from tripadvice.com. Now, just a quick update for you. I know that if you're listening to these episodes sequentially, you're going to find out that in the last one, I'm like, yeah, we're doing the podcast every Wednesday and Saturday and yada, yada. And of course, the minute I decide to say that, I don't do a podcast for like 2 weeks. The reason is because I'm writing a book right now. Thankfully, almost done. So we're back to podcast schedule. I hope. No, we are. And I am writing this book and I got it done. I'm almost done with it. It will be done in a couple of days, which means it took me about a little under maybe 3 weeks, so 2 to 3 weeks to write it. And some people I know are freaking out. They're like, how did you write a book so fast? I said, because the book is done. It's been done. It's a compilation of all my YouTube videos and all my podcast episodes really combined into a simple formula. So the book is called Magnetic: Cultivate Confidence, Become Rejection Proof, and Attract the Woman You Desire. And the whole book teaches you how to be that magnetic man. And sorry, I don't have a release date for you. It will be out sometime this year. But I'm very proud of it because I really boiled down the whole idea of becoming magnetic and being able to pull women towards you in a very concise, easy to read book with techniques, formulas, and an action plan to be able to do it. So I think you're going to get a lot of benefit out of it when it does come out. It will be available on Amazon. It's not available yet, so don't even bother looking it up. But it will be available soon, and I'll let you know. If you keep listening to the podcast, I'll do an announcement. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. I am currently right now in Stockholm, Sweden. So if you're listening to this and it's around May 18th to, early June of 2018, and this is not an old episode for you, then email me, trip@tripadvice.com, with the subject Sweden, and we can meet up if you're in the area. Love to meet people who are listeners of the podcast and, of course, people who watch the YouTube channel. And we'll hang out. I'll even give you some coaching. Won't even charge for it. I just like to meet people all across the world. We'll hang out and grab some tea or grab a beer or whatever suits you. So, yeah, email me if you're in the area and want to meet up and chat shop. So those are the updates. That's what's going on. Soon I'm going to be coming out with a YouTube video called the Trip Advice Manifesto. I want you to look out for that. That's going to be on the YouTube channel. And that's going to be a kind of like a precursor to the book because it really is a little mini summary of the book. And I'm going to be giving you kind of the A to Z quick tip formula for how to become basically magnetic and go from hello to the bedroom and beyond. So check out that video too. I'm really trying to hone in on my concepts here and get them out to you guys because after doing this for 10 years, they're really becoming more and more solid. So I'm excited to continue to get this out to you, continue doing podcasts and all that great stuff. All right. So what are we talking about today? Well, real quick, as you can tell, my voice is kind of funky. Bad allergies here in Sweden. Bad allergies. And they lost my bag. So right now I'm bagless. All I have is my computer stuff, which is great so I can continue to work, but I don't have my clothes on me and I don't have my wonderful allergy pills that I like to take just in case I go to a country where there's some issues. So I sound kind of funny, but I'm with you. You're with me. Bear with me. Today I want to talk about why online dating sucks. Now, I'll admit the title is a little clickbaity because I don't fully believe that it's all bad. The apps can have their good moments. Online dating can have its good moments. But really, when it comes to comparing it to meeting women in person, well, it doesn't compare. And that's kind of the point of this episode. Really, this episode is about comparing and contrasting online dating, app dating. We'll just call it digital dating, okay? So digital dating means you're meeting a girl through various forms online. It could be social media, DMing on Instagram. It could be apps and swiping, online dating sites like Match and eHarmony and JDate and Christian Singles and all those things. OkCupid, right? All those things. So again, I want to almost convince you, especially if the apps are not working for you. Because I get a lot of guys who tell me, Trip, I don't get any matches. And I sit here and I put the best bio and the right pictures, but nothing's happening. And that sucks. And it sucks because it feels so out of your control. I mean, I get it. If you compare it to going out and meeting women in person, it's kind of the same thing, right? You're going to go and you're going to talk to a girl, and well, she might reject you or something like that, which is the same thing as you swiping on a girl and her not doing that. But the problem with that is a woman is only judging you based on so little, so little. So she doesn't have much to work with. A little, couple line bio, or maybe a few paragraphs if you're on a site, and then some pictures, and that's it. She doesn't get a sense of who you are. She doesn't get a sense of your personality. If you have got my program called Hooked, and if you haven't, go check it out at getherhooked.com. But if you haven't been through that, in that program, I basically talk about the fact that women are mostly attracted to your personality. It's funny, I just read somewhere in my personal Facebook group, Tripp's Corner, which you get access to with me and 1,000 other guys. If you end up purchasing Hooked, you get in there for free. It's a bunch of guys posting on Facebook in the secret group, talking about what's going on in their lives, specifically dating, of course, and answering and asking questions. And someone posted and said, these gurus who say it's not about looks, yada, yada. And I do preach that a lot. What I'm trying to get in your head is it's not as much about looks as you think. Okay. That's the whole thing here is that, yeah, of course, if you're like 300 pounds overweight, it's going to be very tough for you to meet a girl. Yes, it will be tough. So I'm sorry for those of you who are listening who are very overweight. That's just the harsh truth, right? It's like you're going to have to lose some weight. But, if you're just like a not so good looking guy and you're an average weight, maybe you're balding a little bit. Yeah, the apps are not going to do well for you. They're probably not. Because when we're on the apps, what are we doing? We're swiping for our ideal partner. That's what we're doing. So it doesn't matter how much personality you have or anything because they're not looking at that. They're just looking at what they might know of you through a couple of sentences and your pictures. So of course, on the digital dating side, it is all about looks. Practically. Aren't you the same way? I mean, come on, you're going to see a girl, and even if there's one small thing wrong with her, just a tiny thing, you're probably going to swipe left. Isn't that wild? I mean, that's just crazy to me. It's like you're just going to be swiping on the girls that you think are the most attractive. Okay, maybe a few times you'll just be like, oh, she's okay, I'll swipe right. Or she's okay, I'll message her. But that's not really the case. You're trying to go after the hottest girls. And so the girls are also trying to go for the full package too. And they know they can. Why? Because, well, they have a lot of guys messaging them. They have a lot of options. They have a lot of options here because they're just getting bombarded. They get the pick of the litter. Online dating is easy for women. Easy. That's what I think. Some women complain about it. I don't know why. I don't know. Vet the guys better. Oh, I meet up with a guy and he's all weird. Okay, get on the phone with him then. I would say that to you too. Get on the phone with the person if you're worried about them being weird. You know how many times I've gotten on the phone with a girl and find out that she's just like really strange and we can't even hold a conversation? So what happens? Well, you don't meet up with them, and that's totally fine. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is if you're not putting any time into meeting women in person, you're missing out. Here's another thing too. There are so many women out there that are beautiful, high quality, ready to meet you, who are not on the apps, who are not online dating. So many. They're out there and they're not on there. So there's a whole pool of women that you're basically passing up completely because you don't see them. And it's so easy these days, we commute home and we swipe and we message. And yeah, it's very convenient. Wow, our phones are amazing. We can order a pizza and get a date and do business and talk to friends all on one little device. It's like everything, right? It's all right there. But let me tell you something. When it comes to the dating aspect, it's not really helping you. You're not gaining the skill that you really need to gain when you're doing the swiping. Because eventually you got to meet up with them, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. Eventually you're in person with them. You're talking to them. You're face to face. That's where real attraction happens. You can attract a girl, I mean, a little bit over the phone because she gets to know your personality. But things can be amazing on the phone. Wow, they can be amazing. But if she meets up with you and it's just not there, there's no chemistry, she's not able to really get to know you because it's hard to do that on the phone. You really get to know someone when you're in the presence of them and you feel their magnetic energy. But you get what I'm saying. I mean, I hope you do. I hope you do. The skill that you build when you go out and meet women is honestly, I think one of the best skills ever. One of the best skills any human can possess. Because what does it do for you? It gives you the power to be able to communicate with a woman in person, to get over your fear of approaching, to talk to a stranger, to communicate with people, which you have to do on a daily basis. It even gives you this weird kind of practice in sales because, in a sense, we're talking about persuasion here, right? Persuasion. By the way, I'll be very careful when I say persuasion, okay? Because I'm not saying convincing. It's very different things. You're not going on convincing women to like you, but there's a persuasion aspect. You're trying to move them. You're trying to create an emotion inside of them that says, hey, I want this. Whether you're selling something or you're getting a girl to like you, there's a lot of commonalities there. So you're practicing persuasion. A lot of those techniques, by the way, are in Hooked. You can check out getherhooked.com. You'll learn steps A to Z, how to go out and do this and meet people in person. But I'll say that you gain those skills. And when you have that and you know how to really, let's say, even work a room, because let me tell you, being able to go and approach girls, that's one of the hardest things ever in terms of socializing for guys. Meeting girls is to me, I think it's the hardest. Everything after that is a joke. Public speaking, easy, easy. Working a room, meaning you're going to a networking event, you're making connections, talking to people, talking to groups of people. That stuff is a joke when you have the area handled of meeting women in person. I understand all that's difficult. We all have fear, anxiety, but once you are able to hold on the skill of seeing a girl, going up to her on the street, going up to her at a bar, talking to her, and really having her get to know who you are in person instead of reading a couple stupid lines, or just looking at a couple pictures of you like hiking or you with your mom or you, I don't know, whatever it is. Now listen, I'm not saying that not do online dating. Sure, keep it there, but for guys, it's a crutch. And if you're listening right now and you're one of those guys, you're like, oh, Trip, you're like, preach right now. You're like, preach, buddy. Just preach because you agree, because you're like, I'm not getting anywhere in this stuff. A lot of guys will just give up on dating. It's weird. It's like, did you realize that these apps are not even a decade old, not even close? It's like, why would you give up? How could you give up after that? You know? And of course, I get these arguments on my YouTube channel. People comment, they're like, what do you mean it's not about looks? What do you think people are swiping for? And again, it just goes back to what I originally said. Like, yeah, duh. It's completely about looks for the online world because they have no chance to get to know who you are. That's where attraction is the most powerful. Yes, attraction occurs on a physical level. Yes, women are attracted to guys who are tall and muscular and square-jawed. Yes, that is the truth. But that's not the only person that they're attracted to. Yeah, they want it all, sure. But yeah, a woman wants a guy who, well, I'm not going to say all women, but generally speaking, would a woman turn down a guy who looks really physically attractive? No, of course she wouldn't. Why would she? However, if the guy was physically attractive and was an idiot and had no personality and didn't know how attraction works, would she like him? No. That's not an opinion, by the way. I know this. I've talked to plenty of women who've been on dates with pretty boys. Guess what? Some of those pretty boys have nothing past their looks and they're out. So yeah, they want the whole package. If you're like, Trip, I'm not the whole package. I'm 5'5", I'm balding, I'm a little bit overweight. Well, okay. So it might be a little more tough for you because, ideally they probably want a guy who looks really handsome. But when you display your personality, when you display your masculine traits, showing her that you're confident, that you're capable, that you have your own life, that you support yourself, that you're a guy who has things handled, that truly doesn't give a shit what people think about him, that is sexier than anything else. And I see a lot of what you would maybe call uneven couples all the time where you're like, how did that guy get that girl? How did that happen? He must be rich. No. Yes, sometimes, but no, it's not true. It's not true at all. Women are attracted to your personality. It's very difficult to be able to really convey that properly digitally because attraction happens on a biological level. We are wired to do this in person, and the apps don't do that for you. Now, by all means, if you're like, I'm killing it on the apps, I'm killing on online dating, dates all the time with hotties, dates all the time. It's great. I'm getting laid. It's fun. I met my girlfriend on there, whatever you want to say, then great. This podcast episode isn't for you. This episode is for the guys who are thinking, what am I doing on these things? This isn't really working for me. This isn't really working for me. Or maybe you're guys listening, you're like, well, I haven't tried anything yet. If you haven't tried anything yet, please don't start on the apps. Please don't sign up for an online dating profile. Because you know what it could do? It could potentially crush you. Because deep down inside, you might think attraction's all based on looks. You go online, and all of a sudden you don't get any matches. No one messages you back on the sites. You're going to be in a really poor mood. You're really going to feel pretty crappy. I don't want that for you. Now you might be thinking, Trip, I go out to meet girls. They're going to reject me. I'm still going to feel crappy. Yeah, you know what? You might feel crappy, but at least it's something that you can really practice. There's only so far you can go on these apps and the sites. It just really, there's only so far you can go. You can create the best profile, this and that, and do the best, and still your options are limited. But if you really work on the skill of socializing in person, I mean, it can take you very far. And you'll, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think you'll get more dates out of meeting women in person with the honed skills of in-person approaching, cold approach, than, I don't know, trying to study the best profile and pictures. I really do. Now, ideally, you do all of it. Ideally. But I want you to be focusing like 80% more of your time and effort into studying and implementing meeting women out in the field, as they say, out there in the trenches where all the learning really happens, because you're going to be in person with her eventually. You're going to be on the first date with her. And you know what? This stuff that you're doing to attract her when you first meet her, like conversation and flirting, you don't think that's happening on the first date? By God, it absolutely is. A date is just an extension of the initial interaction. What I mean is, there's no difference between when you first meet her, let's say at a bar, and the date. Yeah, she's already pre-attracted because she agreed to it, but I mean, you still need to attract her. You need to continue getting her attracted. And of course, she does too, but I know there's a lot of arguments, lots of guys always complaining that women don't have to do any of the work. Well, you're wrong. They do have to do a lot of work. It just is in a different form. But I guess my main point here is that the skill to meet in person, build attraction, goes on forever. From the minute you meet them to the first date, second date, third date, into relationship, into marriage, right? If you're looking to get married, you think, oh, you get married and it's done? Well, some guys think that. That's why the divorce rate's 60%. Well, not the reason, but definitely a reason. People stop trying. It's sad. It really is. But I'm going to leave you with that. Don't forget to check out my program called Hooked, getherhooked.com. This is a little bit different episode, more of a rant than anything. So I want to make sure you guys who are listening are on the right track here. You're doing this right. If you want to learn in-person approaching, get my program, Hooked, at getherhooked.com. Check that out. I already said that a million times because I'm always promoting it. If you're like, I want to get to the real deal, I need coaching. How do we get some coaching? Go to tripadvice.com/coaching and we can help you out with that. And you can do coaching with my head coach, Spencer, who's killing it right now with his Omega Man program. So many guys are signing up. Guys are meeting hot girls, getting girlfriends, getting laid, having fun, living their best life. tripadvice.com/coaching. Check it out. See if it's for you. See if it's a good fit. Then you'll hop on with my main coach, Spencer, and see if you can get signed up for that. So there you go. You know what to do. Thanks for listening to this rant, and another podcast coming soon. So make sure you check the app on iTunes and on Android or Stitcher if you're listening there, and I'll be back.